Because that's also my wife's name.
Not uncle.
So maybe.
Actually, you never know. Let's go, baby. Let's get it. What is up, everybody? Welcome to the pregame show. Let's go. Let's go. My God. Magic City pregame show, a closeout pregame show. And here we are in the studio, fellas. Game 6 about to be underway. We have a great show lined up for you, pregame show to get you ready for it. We're going to talk about, have the Nuggets solved the Clippers, or is this another one that's just going to be completely different? What are the stakes? There's still another game to be played, but are the stakes actually sneaky high for this one? And then does this series remind you of another one that they have gone? In what ways yes, in what ways no? Brendan Vogt is at Into It. No, you didn't know where I was going. You didn't know where I was going. Brendan Vogt's at Into It. He'll be joining the post-game show. Exactly. He's covering on the ground, but Harrison Wind is here.
I got to the office really early today. Cool. You know, collected my thoughts in the lounge over there.
Yeah.
Did some affirmations. Kind of envisioned what could happen tonight.
Journaled a little, maybe?
I've done my job.
Okay.
It's up to the Nuggets now to do theirs.
I love it. You brought your Game 6 energy, man.
Yeah.
There's no let up from you. Superstar Dev is here.
I'm feeling good. I'm feeling so good. I'm so ready for this game. Every other game, there's been like butterflies. This game, I'm like, just get it done.
Yeah.
Get it done. So I think that there's just like different energy after seeing how good they played in that last game.
They've played good in 7 of the last 8 quarters. And I think that's kind of what you're sensing here. It feels like the Nuggets have figured something out. Not necessarily about like solving the Clippers or this or that. We'll get to that here in a second. But just that they figured something out about themselves. And that's the thing is when the Nuggets were great, we believed in them. It wasn't about, this other team, the matchup. It was like, yeah, but the Nuggets can figure it out. And I kind of feel like we're on the cusp of being there, knocking on that door.
Yeah. I mean, you mentioned the quarters that they've played great basketball, and it's pretty much been the last 2 games. I mean, in the last 2 games, this has looked like the Denver Nuggets. It's the team we've kind of been waiting for all season. Again, for most of the last 2 games, and maybe we'll see it tonight.
Yeah, maybe we will, man. I'm excited for it. I'll be honest. You guys just kind of give your take. I feel good about tonight's game. Doesn't mean I think the Nuggets are for sure going to win, or it's impossible for me to be surprised by this one, but I do feel good about this one, which is, I'm kind of the pessimist of the group in some ways.
Yeah. I mean, it's hard not to feel good just with how this series has been trending.
Yeah.
The Nuggets are getting better as a team. It feels like everybody's kind of locked in, and we just got the Jamal game.
Yeah.
The fact that we're coming right off the Jamal game, like if that game had happened in game 1.
Yeah, it's a while back.
Then had the games that he had in like 1, 2, 3 just now, we'd be feeling a little differently. But just coming off the Jamal game, even coming off that Jokic game, even gave me a little confidence too.
100%, man. 100%. All right, let's get into the game notes because there's some good ones.
Yeah. So first of all, no injuries for the Nuggets. Michael Porter Jr. off the injury report.
He is healed.
He's healthy.
He can move that arm.
Joint, the shoulder is good. All good to go.
Do you think this is just where they're like, yeah, that's not going anywhere. Just we're
yeah,
back.
it's just it's game 6. Like nobody really cares anymore. We're good to go.
I like it.
Yeah, I like it too.
He's probably tired of answering questions about it also. If you take it off of it, it's like, all right, man. Like, it's just here.
Yeah. Russell Westbrook also off the injury report, so he is definitely good to go tonight as well. No injuries for the Clippers either. So regular starters for the Nuggets. The Clippers actually thought about changing their starting lineup. Ty Lue said pregame that he thought about it, but he's not.
I love that, though.
At least that's what he said about an hour ago. Yeah. So we'll see.
I kind of feel like they maybe. I would thought they might. Honestly, if I thought that, if I were a bet, I would say, I bet you they do change it up because they just want to throw a curveball, and because Denver is kind of forcing their first 4 minutes to just be Chris Dunn.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. It's more so of like trying to change something up. You just talked about how many quarters they've won in this series. There has to be a shakeup, or it's going to be the same results, and they can't afford the same results. This is a do or die situation for them. So I do think that you should get desperate. You should change things. You should try to at least catch the Nuggets on in their back heels. And I feel like a change up of the lineup would do that. But why come out and say you're not going to do it?
Well, I think one reason not to is because it almost feels like blinking. Yeah. It's almost a confession of, okay, we've been figured out as was, so we have to change, So,
and that's kind of against the tone of Ty Lue's press conferences lately. Like they've all been, oh, we're okay. You know, where they're protecting their home court. We're good. We still got some tricks up our sleeve. Like we're fine. Yeah. So it would kind of go against that. David Adelman pregame though said, look, we're ready for them to put James Harden on Jokic again.
Yeah.
Like we're ready for that. We're ready for some other adjustments they might throw our way, but you got the sense that he and the Nuggets are going to be really confident if they see that again. Confident because they made some adjustments in real time to still score against that alignment, even if it wasn't Jokic who was doing the scoring. And so they feel like they got a lot of good counters to that ready to go. Also, David Adelman, he was talking about the success in the non-Jokic minutes. And he said, look, Jamal went off, which is obviously a big reason why they played pretty well in those minutes. But he also mentioned, like, we set great screens for Jamal, and specifically the angle of those screens.
Yes,
he really identified as a reason that Jamal was able to really get going.
I like that note. I think it's a really cool one. I mean, that's sometimes when people think of adjustments, it's like, rotation or guarding different guys or major things like complete coverages. Sometimes it's as simple as we're going to screen at this angle or we're going to draw our horn sets. We're going to draw it up above the 3-point line instead of from the elbows. Like micro decisions can have major ripple effects.
Yeah. And finally from Adelman, he was talking about like some of the recent film sessions that the Nuggets have had leading up to this game. And he said Christian Braun's been way more vocal in those than he's ever been. In terms of just like speaking up about whatever film they're talking about, giving like constructive criticism to other guys as well. So Christian Braun, definitely one of the guys stepping up as a vocal leader.
I feel like Christian Braun's name comes up every single week or every game. Every game. And is as being a leader. Like it's not just like his play. It's like all the off the court things. Which I think is incredible, especially with so many questions heading into the year. Like he's found his voice, he's found his purpose, not only defensively for this team. And I think that's dope that they continue to talk about it.
Yeah. Finally, I don't know if you guys saw the giveaway at Intuit Dome pregame. It's like a blow up horse.
I saw that
head, but it also has like the
stick,
so you can ride it.
Yeah. I applaud it,
dude. It's amazing.
It's great work.
The Clippers are doing more for Jokic than Ballerinas ever done for him.
This is why, like, I think a lot of these teams are afraid to be too like edgy, because then it could blow back.
This is like fun.
This is like the perfect.
Yeah.
You're right. It could be viewed as a fun thing. They're doing. There it is, right there. Little blow up horsies, which it probably double as thunder sticks too.
Yeah. Oh, that'd be smart.
But also, if you are a fan of the Clippers and you bring your family, like say you bring your daughters,
yes,
they're gonna love it. But you have to explain why you have something of the opposite team as your takeaway.
Yeah.
Like when you go home, especially like say that you lose this game, you got to just throw that on the ground. Like, right, you can't
That's so true.
take that with you. Like, hey, well, at least we got this horsey.
Yeah.
Like, it's for the other team. I think that's pretty crazy. They should have gave fake beards or just like longer hands for the
I was trying to think of like
cornrows or something.
So they just go for like something that's adjacent to a player on the opposing team.
Yeah.
But like, it's not meant to like be anti that player. It's just like something that's associated with that player.
But why not something on your team?
I know.
Yeah, I know.
Like I think I think it's cool, but I've always been confused because like it's a part of the experience. Like if you're there, you're like, why are we giving out something for the other team?
I think it's like, would Jokic be distracted at the free throw line by horse? Like, there's I see horse up there. So
oh man, I remember that game 6. We tried to give them some
just those horse
heads. Like, hey, let's put that in our like game room. The horse head that didn't work.
Yeah, I like it though. I applaud
it,
and I wish I had one.
I told RG to bring back one.
Really?
Yeah.
All right. Well, there you go. I call dibs.
Well, I was gonna put it in the studio, but
okay. I guess
or the
that works. That works too.
We're better. We're Clippers fans.
One thing that has been a theme for David, are you done with team notes?
Yes.
One thing that has been a theme for David Adelman over these last handful of days is that the Nuggets were in this very spot last year, and they lost 2 games. And I think that this can play a double meaning in some ways, as we kind of move on to the stakes here, Cale, because the stakes are, to me, first and foremost, that the Nuggets need some rest. They're running pretty hot right now, playing their starters a lot of minutes. The Thunder have been resting for a week already. They've already had a week off. If you win, your game's either going to be Monday or Tuesday. You're talking about 3.5 or 4.5 days off. That's 4 days in particular is like you got enough rest.
Right.
The team is fully back.
Multiple pool days, probably.
Multiple pool days. Everything's good. If you have to go to Saturday, now you're talking about maybe just 2 days rest. You're not going to really get to prepare, this coaching staff, all that stuff. So it's a big deal there. But to me, more importantly, the second thing I would say is a win means consistency. This team's had 2 good games in a row. Is that outlier? Then you have lay an egg. Do we really trust it? 3 in a row. That's a streak. And then the last one is they did do this last year. Denver has actually lost 2 Game 7s on their own home court in the Jokic era, once to Portland and once to Minnesota. Mm-hmm. So you look at that and go, you just don't want to tempt it. You don't want to put yourself in that spot. Get this done. I actually think the stakes are super high.
Super high. The good thing is the core is still there. That's a bad taste in their mouth. They could remember that. That was like a short-lived win. Like you were excited about the last win that they had, but you've been in this spot and it's gone bad for you, especially last year. So that becomes a motivation for the same coaching staff that was there last year as well. Like they can pull on that lever to say, hey, we saw you guys take care of business. And if you don't in this game, you can lose. So this is a spot where you remind those guys that don't get too high right now. We still have to take care of business. We need to finish them out because we've seen this play out, just last year. And I think it's even a better part that it's on the heels of the same team just winning last night. You know what I mean? Like you got to watch Minnesota gallop all down their street the same exact way that they did to you guys last year. Do not let this happen because you don't want to have that feeling again. So I think the stakes are high because you could pull back on that if you don't want that feeling again.
Yeah. No, stakes are really high. What's interesting though is Adelman's been like so transparent that they've talked about it almost. And like people have asked him, have you thought about like how last year you guys blew the lead at home in Game 7? He's been like, yeah, we're aware of it. I feel like Micah Malone would have been like, no, we haven't thought about it at all. Adelman is just like, yeah, we have. So I think it's a good and bad thing to have that in the back of your head. But yeah, you got to win tonight. Like this, it's not a must win, but kind of is in my mind.
Yeah, the stakes are just high. And I think all of them are kind of equal. Like going to a Game 7, Denver's also won Game 7s, we obviously know. So it's not like it's just one or the other, but it's just not a guarantee. Things can go weird, foul trouble. Guy rolls his ankle. Just something happens in a Game 7.
Yeah.
But to me, the more important one is consistency. I believe the Denver Nuggets have figured something out about themselves, not necessarily about the Clippers, although I do believe that as well, but something about themselves. And this needs to concretize. It needs to come together. And I feel like 3 games in a row would be, if the Nuggets win 3 in a row to close out the series, I think they go back home feeling like we're back.
Yeah, for sure.
Especially with how the season ended. Like they're without their head coach. They don't have a coach right now. And like they're pushing themselves to a limit of like, we figured something out and we're doing this for us as a team. You put that together in a row, you go in and you try to like knock down the Giants, who are very young, where everybody's going to say that the Nuggets are not ready. They're not the team that can beat them. So like you feel confident. You just beat a team that was one of the hottest teams in the NBA in 6 games. That has to feel good. You go in rested. You go in with your best player being the best player in the world still and getting to prove that against a player that's going to most likely win the MVP. And then you have Jamal Murray, especially if he has another big game in this one. I think that gives you some confidence of, for sure, we have our 2 best players playing at this level right now when it really matters. Now's the time.
Yeah, now is 100% the time. I do wonder though about this. To me, the big question is about James Harden. Because as I rewatched this game, and I actually watched it again today, at least the first half of it, because I really wanted to see what was going on. James Harden would be so frustrating to root for because of how frequently he gets lost on defense. And the Nuggets know that. And so they put him in position where he has to make multiple reads. That's kind of what Denver's plan has been lately, or at least one of them has been make him guard, put him in actions, but more importantly, give him opportunities, get distracted, and see what happens. We know that inbound play where Aaron Gordon just sneaks in, that was Harden being focused on one thing and not the other. And Denver, I think, has done that. He didn't talk to the media in each of the last 2 games. He had bad games. People are clowning him. James Harden, to me, it's like, he could have a great game tonight, and I would be impressed if he does. But he seems to me like a guy that he doesn't want to do those things. And some players, if they don't want to do them, they just shut down. And I almost view him in this last game. Why is he so bad? Because he has to play off ball, and then he has to play defense and help, and he has to guard the pick and roll. And it reminded me, I told you guys this the other day, it reminds me of Devin Booker when he didn't like being double teamed. When he's like, I just don't like that. I just want to play it. It's like, you don't
work on my game.
Harden, you have to be a good help side defender in the series for the Clippers to win. And that's one of the things I'm watching for tonight. If Harden is willing to do that dirty work, I'm curious.
I hope the Nuggets keep that exact game plan. I hope they go at him, make him move, make him be a help side defender. Because, he doesn't want to do that stuff. And then when you put him on offense on the other end of the floor, he's just going to have less energy. He's just going to tire out. And there's been a lot on Harden's shoulders this season for the Clippers. It's easy to forget now, but they didn't have Kawhi Leonard for the first half of the season. It was Harden that really carried them throughout a lot of the regular season. I got to think the minutes are catching up to him a little bit. And if you really run him on defense, I don't know if he's going to have the energy to really be James Harden on offense.
First off, that would be infuriating to watch a guy just be a cone drill, not trying. And it's a lot of effort, but it's also just him getting attacked the entire time. And he also has a track record of doing those type of things in the big moments, which I feel like it's not a case of if the Nuggets do it. That's been the game plan this entire, series. That's what they're going to continue to do. And I don't know if there's just a switch where you could just turn it on and say, I want to play hard, or I want to, play defense in this one, or I'm going to be a good defender. I mean, the Nuggets have been in a spot where we've been asking for it for a lot of players, and you want to call that out. But when it comes to James Harden, really, you have to attack him early, very early, to put him in that compromised spot of, am I going to continue to play hard? I don't think that James Harden has that in him. And he's very close to an off season.
It's so true.
He's already got the villa booked in Cancun.
I was going to say, if you're a Nuggets
fan, he can move
at
the
game,
date around, but it's already booked.
I was going to say, if you're at the Nuggets game right now, you're like, James, tomorrow you could be in Mexico.
You
could be in Mexico, bro. Maybe tonight, honestly. You might be able to get there tonight, wake up there. He'd be like, that sounds dope.
That does sound dope.
Let's talk. We did this briefly on the show the other day, but I am curious to hear what you guys think. We've had a couple game 6s over the years. And I'm curious if the temperature right now of where this series is, which one it reminds you of. I'll give you a couple options. That Phoenix one, where the Nuggets win game 5 in convincing fashion and the Suns quit. The Nuggets had both solved them. They had lost their confidence. They seemed to have lost their will, and the Nuggets just clowned them. That's the picture. It's one of my favorite ones. Do you remember? It's Jokic and Murray on the bench looking bored.
Yeah.
And it's 12 minutes or 10 minutes to go in the fourth quarter, and they're just sitting there job done.
Yeah. We can go home now.
Do you see, is there a possibility for that tonight, Dev?
I think that if there's a team that will give you that, it is the Clippers. They're a team that if you hit them early, I really do think that they will lay over. And the Nuggets look hungry right now. They look like they truly do want it. And the Clippers don't. They look like they're still trying to figure things out. Their coach is questioning if he wants to change things up. Their star player doesn't seem to be all the way into it right now. So you can put them in that spot. Was that the KCP game that the Suns won, where he went insane, or
I think the whole team did, because I think that was a no fourth quarter minutes game.
Totally,
and
it was also just a no-show.
It was a no-show.
You take care of them super early, where they just truly check out, and that was the Suns team, or they truly thought they had a chance, but you took that away from them.
Walter in the chat says Harden's been so bad he's going to Galveston. Mexico. I like that one. What do you think, Wind?
Yeah, I think it could be, game 6 against the Suns 2.0. I just think you look at the main guys in this series, Kawhi and Harden. Yeah, they could be Booker, Durant, from that series. I could definitely see that happening. But you got to make a point to punch first, I think. Because if this game is close, I do think it's going to be a tight game throughout. You know, if this is a close game in the first half. If the Nuggets get out to like a 20-point lead or something, I think in that third quarter, you could see like vibes from that game 6 against the Suns start to set in for this Clippers team. Look, man, I mean, it honestly wouldn't be that surprising from James Harden. It wouldn't. Like, the Nuggets are up 15 or something. He kind of cashes out. Like, it would not be surprising at all. But if this is a close game, I expect the Clippers to really bring it and for it to be close throughout.
What about Portland Game 6 in 2021, Dev? If you recall that one, Denver was shorthanded, no Murray, you know, in that series, but Jokic just put them on their back. It was like the two teams were both very flawed. It was a Game 6, and while Denver had gotten better throughout the series, that was the one where it was like Jokic just said, no, we're doing this, and he kind of carried them.
I would love that. We just saw Jamal just have a game where it was like he carried. He's like, I'm going to put the team on my back and take care of business. This is a much better spot where you don't have to, you know, play up to that level because you're missing a guy. But I would love a Jokic masterclass where he just says, like, no means no. Like, I'm not even going to allow them to play this one close. We're going to take care of business, like, early on and, like, just put them to bed. But I would love something like that. I think the first series is the one I'm leaning, the Suns.
Okay.
But that would be great to see this one.
Yeah. I mean, maybe this is a game where the Clippers change up their game plan and they really haven't focused a lot on Jamal, it seems like, this series.
Ooh.
And then he goes for 43.
Yeah.
So maybe this is one where they shift some of their focus to Jamal.
Floodgates open.
And the floodgates open for Joker.
That'd be incredible.
The make Joker score game.
I would love, for me personally, I think a Jamal dominant game would be more like inspiring and like we would have more confidence.
Definitely.
But a Yoke closeout, just dominant and tells him, no, you're going home.
Can't
That's
complain
for my
about
own
that.
personal narratives. I kind of enjoy that one. The last one, Dev, Minnesota Game 6 last year, which was the 50-point blowout. I just think that team last year did not have what this team has. I don't think they had the belief. Jokic put a masterclass in Game 5, and they go into that one and get blown out by 50 points.
That was one of the more stunning games I can ever remember. It was reminiscent of like the Warriors just selling that game last night against the Rockets.
It really was.
Just like, we're just not going to compete tonight.
Don't even care.
Yeah, we're just going back to Golden State.
I don't think that team
Although
believed.
they're going back to Golden State for a Game 6, not a Game 7.
I don't think that Nuggets team believed. You know, honestly, I think Jokic had a masterclass in Game 5, and they kind of were like, all right, we'll see. And then they got punched.
But the difference in that one is the other team's star player believed. You know what I mean? Like, he truly wanted it. He trash talked beforehand. He came in there and took care of business. And I just don't see that from this Clippers team. James Harden is not trash talking. He's not like one of those players out there. Kawhi Leonard is quiet monster, but not demonstrative in that same way to inspire everyone else to like get on my back and I'm going to get us there. So I think that was the biggest difference there. But you also talk about that Nuggets team not believing. They went in there and rolled over because I think that they expected that the Timberwolves are going to roll over. They did not. So you got hit with the element of surprise and then it was just too much for you to come back to. So I think that's the biggest difference in this one. But again, Denver looks inspired coming off of that last game right now. So that one would be surprising, very shocking.
And we have Coach Jokic going right now. You guys saw the report from Shams today. I put out my piece. I had somebody with the team compare him to how he approaches the Serbian national team. Way more vocal, way more just kind of inspired. And that to me, if Jokic's inspired, I'm inspired. If he's confident, I'm confident. So totally. I love it, and I'm looking for a Jokic game tonight. Our pregame picks are presented by Bet365. Download the Bet365 app and use the code DNVR365. Deposit $10. Place a bet of $5. You get $150 in bonus bets. Must be 21 or older and physically located in Colorado. Please gamble responsibly. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call or text 1-800-GAMBLER. Deb, I'm going to start you off by telling you I made the Colorado parlay tonight. I did the Avs and the Nuggets money line. I don't care if I lose money. I'm riding with the Colorado parlay.
First off, that's one of the best bets because it's all about vibes.
It's all about vibes,
and
baby.
You want to make sure that the vibes are set and they're ready. Everybody make sure that they do that Colorado parlay. Starting there, we're going to start with Nuggets come in as 6-point underdog.
Nobody believes in us?
Nobody believes.
+6.
+6. That's a lot. That's a lot.
And it's
in a closeout game. And if Denver's able to punch first, I really do feel like this Clippers team is one that's shown that they will fold. So I really do think that Denver has to punch early, and this takes care of itself. So I truly do like that one. Let's go with the +6, but also let's go with money line. I really like that one.
Yeah, let's close them out.
Let's close them out. Defense has been on the upswing, but in that last game, both teams showed that they can score, and I expect that to certainly happen again in this one. For my first leg, let's start with over 212. I mean, the Nuggets scored 130 points. They really did figure something out, and they're not just like shooting lights out right now. It's not like they just had like the best game shooting, and they just found something. They know what they're want to do, and also the Clippers scored. They can score.
Clippers are going more offense, less defense to try to pack. So
That's
you could be right.
And I think they're going to continue to do that. So over 212, it just seems easy. On the Clippers side, there's just no way that Kawhi goes out without a fight. We're going to go over 24.5 points.
I think it's a good bet.
I just think that it happens. Chris Dunn found some success last game with his scoring, and I'm sure
Is that because nobody's guarding him?
and I'm sure that they keep that him out there to
Good
try
strategy.
to try to slow down Jamal Murray. Because let me tell you something, Harden stands no chance. And they're putting him in a lot of pick and roll. So Chris Dunn has to be on the court, and Denver is not guarding him right now. So 6.5 points is too low. Let's go with the over. On the Nuggets side, we had that one huge three-pointer in that last game from Brown, and I expect him to knock down another one. All we need is one, and the Clippers are baiting him into taking them. Just knock it down. We're going to go with over 1-3. You just need the point.
For who is this?
0.5 for Christian Brown. Sticking with Christian Brown.
I actually love this bet. I might even buy it up.
Yeah, that's a good one. Sticking with Christian Brown, I think this will be a big Brown night. Let's go over 5.5 rebounds, as he's been a force on the boards. He's been taking care of business with the rebounding. But also, the bet that we rock with every single time for our second leg is going to be Christian Brown over points plus rebounds, 16.5.
We're going to Browntown tonight.
We're going to go to Browntown. Check into the prison. Make sure that they don't have a James in there.
He's out on work leave tonight.
Probably in there. And if we see him, we're going to just say, hey, buddy. And that's it.
Hey, buddy.
Just walk out. Gordon has been a force, and he's done it all. But what he's really done is he's applied pressure offensively. He's been a mismatch for the Clippers, and they've been feeding him a lot. His line is 14.5, and that's too low in my opinion. Let's go with the over for Aaron Gordon. I certainly think this is a high-scoring game, and you can tell with my bets because I have another over bet. It's Russell Westbrook. His line is only 11.5. We know he's going to knock down a couple of three-pointers.
We know he's going to take them.
We know that he's going to finish with that left hand around the rim, and we pray that he rocks that baby to sleep tonight. It's my favorite, Selly. He was sensational last game, and 11.5 points is too low. The big man is still out there, and he's dominating, and it was a game that he got to chill in. I think he dominates it again, and I don't think it's going to be with only scoring. I think this is going to be the rebound game. It's only at 12.5. I'm expecting for him to have a big rebounding game, so let's go over 12.5. Our defensive bet is Jamal Murray over 1.5 stocks, and for our lock. Jamal Murray over 20.5 points.
Man.
Let's go.
This is one that you'll be able to see if he's going to get this early on. His first quarter line is 4.5, and I'm very tempted to make that the lock. But I'm just sure that the Nuggets see what we've all been seeing. If he gets the ball early and he gets scoring early, it does not stop. I think he's going to take the first few shots of the game. I would do Murray first point. Like
First basket, yeah.
Because I just think that he's going to score.
I'm going to do that.
First quarter basket. I think he's going to they're going to make sure that he has another one.
Bet.
A big one. So let's go with over 20.5 points for our lock.
I like it. I just also put a little sprinkle on Jokic, 1.5 threes.
Yeah.
I just think he might make some threes tonight, man. I feel like he's getting a little confidence in the jumper.
Yeah.
I kind of think Jokic scores tonight. That's my hot take. I think they go with a more offensive lineup more frequently. They get fewer stops, and Jokic just starts to go to work. All right, we got a couple super chats.
Sorry, I'm getting in my first basket bet. Sorry. Lost at sea. The bar's lit.
Let's go.
Shout out to Adam Windkale vote wherever he is. He's in LA. Great coverage all year around.
We appreciate you,
Nuggets
man.
Nation. Let's get this closed out.
Lost
We
at sea,
appreciate
baby.
the lovers, man.
Mr.
Screw the
Exquisite
haters.
Nugget. Lakers. LaFale off to Cancun. LFG Nuggets in 6.
Oh, what a shame. What a shame, man.
Yeah,
What a shame.
Carrot Hammer. If Yoke goes off, in Nugs dub, #horse game.
Oh, man, let's go. If he goes off. All right, guys, guess what we're doing today? We're watching along.
We're gonna watch
What else would we be doing?
What else would we be doing? So
Let's go.
in this one, head on over to the watch along with us. Hit that like button on the way out.
We all silly like the mayor.